Geno Auriemma once stood at the summit of women's basketball. His name carried weight, his programs delivered championships, and his opinions could make or break a rising star's career. So when word spread that he had invested heavily in a brand new venture called Unrivaled, everyone assumed his Midas touch would send this women's 3-on-3 league soaring to instant success. But now, the entire operation is on shaky ground, struggling to hold on to half the viewers it drew in its opening week. And the person at the center of this chaos, the one name that could save or sink Unrivaled, is the very rookie Geno once dismissed as too unpolished for the pros, Caitlin Clark. It's a story packed with big money stakes, bruised egos, and a lesson in how star power can either make you or break you. So buckle up and get ready, because this unraveling saga shows no sign of slowing down. Before its rocky premiere, Unrivaled was marketed as the next major attraction in women's basketball, a faster-paced 3-on-3 spin on the sport designed to draw in younger audiences, net massive sponsorships, and showcase the talents of players hungry for a new spotlight. Investors lined up with their checkbooks, all hoping to grab a piece of the next big thing. Early leaks of projected ratings were impressive. Chatter in sports media suggested that Unrivaled might redefine how fans engage with women's hoops. The league boasted an intriguing format and a promise to feature some of the WNBA's brightest prospects alongside breakout college stars. The timing seemed perfect. Women's basketball had just enjoyed historic NCAA tournament viewership, and new pro talent was igniting fan excitement everywhere. On paper, the concept glowed with promise. Yet for all the glitz, one undeniable fact loomed: to really launch with a bang, Unrivaled needed a marquee name. Specifically, it needed Caitlin Clark. Her highlight reels were going viral every other day, her jersey sales were skyrocketing, and her rookie season in the WNBA was defying every critic's worst prediction, especially those of a certain well-known coach-turned-investor. If you followed women's basketball, you know Geno Auriemma has never been afraid to speak his mind. For years, sports media ate up his quotes, occasionally even stirring controversy to keep his name in the headlines. So when he made an off-the-cuff remark questioning Caitlin Clark's ability to thrive in the WNBA, fans and commentators took note. He implied she wasn't built for the intensity and physicality of the pro game. Critics jumped on his statements, calling them outdated and dismissive. But others, diehard supporters of Geno, defended him, claiming his track record as a coach made him a credible source. Today, though, those words feel like a haunting echo. Everything Geno doubted about Clark is now fueling her unstoppable momentum in the WNBA, where she's filling arenas and shattering rookie records. And ironically, the very league Geno tried to buoy with his money is faltering while Clark's professional journey skyrockets. Unrivaled launched with plenty of hype. Early broadcasts drew in a respectable 300,000-plus viewers, enough of the founders to flaunt their success on social media. The format was dynamic, the broadcast team was lively, and highlight clips were circulating online. Yet almost as soon as people tuned in, they started tuning out. By the second and third weekends, the viewership cratered to just over 100,000. Sports analysts began publishing grim forecasts. Sponsors who pinned their hopes on Unrivaled, capturing the same March Madness magic, were growing uneasy. Behind closed doors, rumor had it that major investors were pressing the league organizers for answers, or at least a quick fix. Desperation grew. Some insisted the future depended on securing a true marquee star, the kind of player who doesn't just win games but commands attention from fans around the world. And of course, every finger pointed to Caitlin Clark. While Unrivaled stumbled, Caitlin Clark was busy becoming a phenomenon in the WNBA. Her rookie stats looked like they'd been ripped from a video game: high-scoring nights, double-digit assists, and a flair for pulling off the kind of plays that leave commentators speechless. Overnight, she turned regular season matchups into must-watch events. You'd see fans in the stands holding homemade "I'm here for Caitlin" signs, social media bursting with clips of her no-look passes, and entire segments on sports networks devoted to analyzing her every move. Whenever a rookie draws comparisons to all-time greats, skeptics roll their eyes. But Clark's production silenced the doubters. She wasn't just meeting expectations, she was demolishing them. Some watchers even joked that she could sell out an empty gym all on her own. To make matters sweeter for her fans, every success hammered home the irony of Geno's earlier remarks. Clark was no shrinking violet who'd crumble under pro-level contact. She was a versatile, clutch performer who welcomed the challenge. Meanwhile, Unrivaled was practically begging for someone of her caliber to rescue it from freefall. As word spread that the league wanted Caitlin Clark so badly, the rumor mill exploded. Insiders claimed she was offered over $1 million to appear in Unrivaled, a staggering sum for just an 8-week commitment. That level of cash was supposed to be an offer nobody could refuse. But Clark did. People close to her hinted at multiple reasons. First, she just finished a grueling college season followed immediately by her WNBA rookie year. She needed mental and physical downtime, time to rest, to train at her own pace, and to let her body heal. Second, there was a respect factor. After facing years of doubters, including Geno Auriemma himself, she wasn't rushing to save a league heavily backed by someone who had once publicly dismissed her potential. Another factor was that Clark already had a promising foundation in the WNBA. She was building a legacy in the largest stage for women's professional basketball, drawing fans who were buying her merchandise and showing up in record numbers. Why jeopardize that momentum for a short-term league that might or might not be around in a few seasons? People often forget that when a sports league fails to meet expectations, it doesn't just hurt one or two key players. It ripples out to every individual who put money into the project. Unrivaled had multiple backers, each hoping for massive returns on what they saw as the next frontier of women's sports. Now they're watching their initial investment shrink by the day. Some of these investors likely believe that landing Angel Reese or other notable college standouts would be enough. Reese, after all, made headlines during March Madness and was hailed as a fresh face in women's basketball. But the reality is that a single star, even a highly marketable one, can't carry a shaky league on her shoulders if fans aren't genuinely compelled to watch. Behind closed doors, discussions are turning grim. How can they reverse the spiral? Do they double down on marketing? Do they raise salaries further, offering players an even bigger cut to lure them in? Or is it simply too late to overcome the league's shaky reputation? Call it karma. Call it a twist of fate. Either way, Gino Auriemma's predicament looks like a case of harsh poetic justice. After questioning whether Caitlin Clark could ever cut it against professional-level athletes, he's now in dire need of her unstoppable talent to salvage Unrivaled. His earlier words hang in the air like a dark cloud. If Clark's not physically up for the pro game, how could she possibly rescue an entire league? In the bigger picture, this saga highlights a fundamental truth about women's basketball. You can't just throw money at an idea and expect it to flourish. Authentic, game-changing stars are essential for drawing consistent attention and building a loyal fan base. And at the moment, the biggest star out there is Caitlin Clark, who's found a far more fitting stage in the WNBA. That doesn't mean Unrivaled can't turn things around. But the damage is real, and so are the challenges. You need star power, marketing savvy, and a product that truly resonates with viewers. Simply stacking rosters with strong college players, without the marquee name that's on everyone's tongue, might not be enough to survive in the long run. As Unrivaled continues to post shaky ratings, sponsors are asking tough questions. How will they recoup costs if major viewership doesn't bounce back? Can they realistically afford to pay Clark or other superstars the astronomical sums that might bring them on board? The million-dollar figure tossed at Clark was already a jaw-dropper. Some are whispering that the only way to save the league is to offer her something closer to $10 million, a figure so enormous it borders on fantasy for a startup women's sports league. Yet desperate times call for desperate measures. If Unrivaled collapses, it won't just reflect poorly on Geno Auriemma. It'll mark another failed attempt to expand opportunities for women's basketball outside the established WNBA structure. Even fans rooting for the league's demise acknowledge that losing Unrivaled could create a chilling effect on future investors who might otherwise consider boosting women's sports. Still, the immediate outlook isn't rosy. Every passing week sees diminishing returns. Meanwhile, coverage of Caitlin Clark's feats in the WNBA keeps overshadowing the quiet corner where Unrivaled lingers. If the league can't drum up a strong mid-season surge in ratings, many fear it could fold before it even begins to see a second year. At its heart, this is a drama about ambition, respect, and the power of one rising star to transform an entire landscape. Geno Auriemma bet on Unrivaled at precisely the same time he wrote off Caitlin Clark as just another collegiate standout unprepared for the professional stage. Now he and his fellow investors find themselves scrambling to salvage a league that can't seem to hold viewers' attention, while Clark's name blazes brighter with every WNBA tip-off. In a single year, she's become more than a basketball player. She's the face of the sport's future, a ratings magnet who's proving that fans will tune in if the on-court product is compelling enough. Meanwhile, Unrivaled teeters on the edge of collapse, proof that money alone can't buy success if you fail to bring the right people on board. So what happens next? Will Unrivaled pull off a last-minute miracle by sweetening its offer to Caitlin Clark or another breakout star? Or will it fade into the background, serving as a cautionary tale about underestimating true talent and overestimating the allure of a quick fix? One thing's clear, Caitlin Clark isn't the naive rookie Geno thought she was. She's calling the shots, and the rest of the basketball world is just trying to keep up. What do you think? Will Unrivaled get its act together, or is it too late? Share your thoughts, and be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to stay updated on this roller coaster of a story. After all, there's nothing quite like watching a high-stakes plan unravel, only to see one determined rookie steal the spotlight.